Hi everyone, it's Granny J Clay or Joni, and I thought I would put out a little video today to show you how I made these. I'm going to make two more of each color, so I wanted to just show you my colors here. This is the Viva Pardo art clay that I'm using, and I like this. It's some of it is a little bit softer than others, but none of it seems to be too soft to work with, which is really pleasant. They have really pretty colors. This particular color is, let me just say what it is. It's transparent light blue. And what I did when I first got the clays is I cut out circles from each, made a little sheet of clay for each one, and then I cut these circles out and I baked them so I could see how they would bake and how much the clay would change in color. And this one changed just hardly at all, just a tad. It's so pretty. And this one is called, let me tell you, it is Alabaster. It's called Alabaster. And that looks just pretty much exactly how the clay looks, and so does the white. This is white. And they're all the Pardo Clay. So today I just pulled out what I had left from the other day, and I'm going to make some sheets out of those, and I'm going to show you how I made these, and we won't be able to take it all the way to the end, but I will show you as much as I possibly can because I would have to bake it before I finished it, but I will put the texture on it and so forth. So let's get started. I used this from my Fat Daddy-O's. It's the second smallest cookie cutter, and remember, the Fat Daddy-O's don't have any seams. They're just the best cookie cutters I've ever had. And then this little one is from my leather cutters. I've showed you that before. And so I had to kind of try a few to see which one I would be able to work with. Let me put this aside, close it up, and I'll put that aside and we'll get started. I just thought I'd play with it a little bit, and I'll let you just see what I'm doing as I'm playing with it. How about that? It is getting very dark here right now in Kansas, and we're supposed to have some rain, more rain. We've had a lot of rain, but we'll see how that goes. We're supposed to have some inclement weather, but we'll see. And we'll see if we get those storms or not. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to roll out the blue, the light blue. I'm going to run it through my pasta machine in just a minute here. This clay is not, you see some air bubbles there. What I do with that is I just come and slice it a couple times, make sure the air is out, turn it over and see if I've got any on that side. No, but I have a couple here. Anyway, I roll it out, and then I run it through on, this has already been conditioned, but I'm going to run it through a couple times anyway, since I worked with it the other day. It seems to want to get some air pockets today for some reason, but I'll run it through my pasta machine, and we'll see what goes. So you're going to hear a little bit of noise. Hopefully that won't bother you too much. This is set on a 0, which is it's on my Atlas 180, and the 0 is the widest. It's one run. That's the second run. That's the third run. And that's the fourth run. Now I think I'm going to run it on a 1. So I'm going to fold it again. You always put the folded side down into your pasta machine, or you will make more air bubbles. You don't want that. So I'm going to run that on a 1. I'm just trying to get more air bubbles out if there are any in there. But it looks like I've gotten them all out right now. Yeah, I think I have. So I'm going to go back to my 0 setting and run it through once. And now I'm going to take, this is my texturing sponge. I use this almost all the time. I just love this one. And I'm going to put it on the clay, Let's see here. Maybe I'll put it back here. There's a little color there from something else, I suppose, in the pasta machine. I'm going to run it through on the 0. And, oh, I didn't get it all the way. Let me run it one more time. We'll see what happens here. Okay, that did it. This part got a double run through, but that's all right. So that's what it looks like. It's just a pretty texture. I think it is anyway. And actually, you're going to see the texture right on these. It won't be just on the back of them, but it'll be on the front of them. Because what I do is, and I might just have enough clay out to run one more of each, and that's okay too. There's a little bit of different color right there I don't want in there. So let me see if I can get that out. Yep. I don't know if you saw that or not, but it was just a little one. And then I'm going to just come back with my thing and just push on it like that. Push a little extra on that area too. Okay. When I ordered this, I ordered a set of 3 off the internet, these sponges. I think if you just put in on Google sponges used for polymer clay, you could probably find these. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I don't want a smooth area showing. I want both sides to look like this. And so what I'm going to do is cut it in half. And since it's such a small piece of clay, it's kind of nice to work with it. And you see there's a little clay that it picked up probably off of the pasta machine, a little dark piece, but that's not going to bother it at all. So there we go. Now I'm going to bring out some of my, this, again, plastic food wrap that I got at, I think it was at Costco. And because I'm going to bevel the edge a little bit. Okay. All right. Make sure I've got it down the way I want it down. And then I'm going to bring this in and just press down. I could take this this piece and just put it down like I've done before. You see me do that before. But I'm just going to do this, and then I'm going to twist it. And right away, I'm going to come in, and I'm going to try to find the center of this. I'm trying to look from the top down here. It's easy to get off center a little bit, but we'll see how that works. And then I twist that as well, and it just kind of puffs it up. So let me just do this, and then I'll take this off. And then I'm going to take a piece of Scotch tape, because as you see, the plastic stuck to the clay. So I'm going to pull that off just like that. And then I'm going to pull it off of the middle piece as well. Kind of get stuck on there so I can get, well, you know what, I'm going to move this out first. And then I will pull it off. Kind of get on the side of it better that way. Yeah, there it comes. And I've been baking these little, I call them little buttons. I bake those too, because it's kind of a nice bead to have sometime. And it's just a way to use that extra clay up. But as you can see, it has textured it really nicely. And after I bake it now, and that's the back of it, after I bake it, I'm going to rub the edges just a little bit, maybe the inside just a little bit like that. Make sure the edges are pretty smooth. Anyway, after I bake it, it will come out of the oven, and then I'm going to put some, on the blue ones, I put some white paint, and then and it goes down into the crevices, and then I wipe the rest of it off, so it just stays in the crevices. And I do that on both sides. And then once I've got that done and it's baked, or and it's, excuse me, and it has, let me just pull this up for us here, get that kind of out of the way. Once I've done that, then what I do is I put some resin on it. I put resin on these. If you can see that, I put resin on them. Oh, it looks like that picked up something. There, it's gone. Anyway, so that's what I did with those. Now I'm going to just take this one. I'm going to park it over here on a tile. And I'm going to pull a tile out like this, just a little, oh gosh, this is 6 by 6, little 6 by 6 tile I got at Home Depot. I've got several of these. And I put it beside me, and on top of that, I'm going to place a piece of parchment paper. Sometimes I use parchment paper, sometimes I use a 3x5 card. Today I've got the parchment paper. So I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to see if I can't get one more out of this. And you know what? I think I'll use this time to get more of the clay. And what I'm going to do is, let me just park this over here. I'm going to roll it again, and maybe I'll be able to run it through the machine again and get one more. So let me see how this goes. I've got it again on 0. It may not be enough, but we'll see. All right, one more time. What happens when you run it through with the sponge, it stretches your clay out just a little bit. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit, so it gives me a little bit more. We'll see if I can make it work. If not, that's fine too. Okay. Now, I'm going to see, yeah, I think I can make that work. So what I'm going to do now is just, again, I'm going to cut this in half. And just turn this over, and see how that picks up from the pasta machine? Maybe you can see those little bitty dots there of a darker color. Okay, but now if I stay right in the middle, I should be able to get another one. Let's see if I can reuse the other side of this plastic wrap, which is always good to do. If you can, you know, reuse it a little bit, then you don't waste as much. So put it on, straighten it out, make it fairly tight over it. And, yeah, looks like I'll be good here. Push it down, give it a twist. And bring this one in and see if I can line that one up again, right in the middle. Sometimes I think I've got it right in the middle, and then it isn't, but we'll see. Use my little plexiglass plate here. Okay, and then I turn that. This one has a nice, really nice cutting edge on it. This one will cut through, and it always does cut through, but it's not as sharp as this one is. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. Oh, and it looked like the plastic came off the bigger round piece, but not the smaller. And it looks like I'm going to take this and go around it like that. Just kind of walk it around. And because there was a frayed edge there, I should have pushed harder on it to get that out of there. And now I'm just going to pull it up very lightly, very carefully. And you see the back is textured as well. And as you can see, it's not perfect. I should have gone a little bit further this way, but I had a couple do that with this too, and it really doesn't make a difference in this kind of a design, so I'm just going to leave it as it is and not be overly picky about it today. And as long as I'm at it, I'll just take the piece of plastic off my little button again. See if I can get it. Yeah, there it comes. And as long as I'm going to keep this one and I'm going to bake it, I'm going to make sure I go around the edges a little bit here. In fact, I'm going to come in with this again. And, you know, it's not that important to do it, but if you do it before you bake it, you don't have to sand it as much once it's baked. You probably will have to sand it a little bit, but not too much anyway. And then my tape stuck to my board. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so those are the two blue ones. And basically it's the same thing all over again with this. So I'm just going to show you one thing on here, if I can pull one up. Yes, there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but once these have baked, I use the very tail end of one of my blades, and I just take it and I press it through. It's very easy to cut through it when it's still warm. And so I cut through that. And once I cut through it, then I let it dry, or I let it, not dry, but I put the paint on and then I let it dry. And then when I put the resin on, as soon as that's all done and dried, then I recut this same line. And then once I have interlocked them, like I've done here, I take a little tiny bit of this GS Hypo Cement, and I run it, I push them apart a little bit where I've cut it, and I run a little bit of a bead of this on it, and then I just hold it until it has set a little bit, and then I go on to the next one. And that's how you can interlock these beads. So I want to make more today because I want to make this a little bit bigger. I've been kind of playing with it and kind of wondering how I want to do it. And I think what I really am going to do is just add on to the ends. So, I mean, you could certainly have a necklace that looks like this. You could drill a hole in here and here. Or if you wanted to and you didn't want to drill a hole, you could go up through here with some leather and up through this side with some leather and do it that way. But I just thought I would show you at least that one. I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to do the peach. So you can see that. I hope all of you are doing well. Here in Kansas, things seem to be opening up a little bit more now. We still wear masks pretty much all the time whenever we go someplace, although we did go out for dinner the other night for my husband's birthday. He's now as old as I am. We're both 71. We were high school sweethearts, and we were in the same grade, but I was 6 months older than he, and obviously I still am. He likes to say he married an older woman. Anyway, when we went out for dinner, the people in the restaurant that were working were wearing masks, but most of the customers were not. So it's kind of letting up a little bit. We'll see how that goes. All right, I ran it through once on 0. Now I'm running it through one more time on 0. One more time on 0. And then I'm going to run it through on a 1. Even though it's been conditioned before, I like to just run it through a little bit. And back to a 0. And then I have it like that. That's a bigger piece than my blue piece was, I think. Now I'm going to run this through and see what we get here. So I ran that through. Let me just pull it off. Yeah, that looks good. I might have missed a little spot there, so I'm just going to go like that. No problem. Now I'm going to do the very same thing. I'm going to cut it in half. About right there, maybe. And I'm going to go over that way. I always put the straight sides together. You can do it whatever way you like to do it, but that's how I do it. All right. And now I'll get this piece of plastic is kind of used up. So I'm going to get another little piece of plastic. This plastic can go long, long ways if you're careful with it. Okay. And make sure it's down pretty tight. And let's see if I can get 2 out of that. I might be able to if I squeeze here a little bit. I think I might be able to. I'm going to get it as far over as I think I can. And then I'm going to do that. Yep. And I'm going to do one right next to it. See how that turns out. Okay. Now I'm going to, let's see if I can line this up to do it the way I want to do it. Well, that looks pretty good. So I'll bring in my little acrylic block again. And then I'll turn it, turn it, turn it. And I'm going to put it over here. I usually don't make two together because sometimes they will spread out into each other, but this is okay. I like how when you push down on the middle one, it puffs the other one up a little bit. Oh! And since this is open on both ends, I can just take my little finger and pop it out. Put that over there. All right. Take this off. And this one is a little uneven. This one's pretty good, though. And let's pull the plastic off. And then very carefully, you can use your blade if you want to, so you don't distort this. You can bring your blade in and pick it up underneath, just like that. And then I'll put it over on my piece of parchment, which is on my tile. And I'm going to come back and take off the plastic from that, and plastic from this one as well. Okay. That one over there, and I'm going to pull see if I can get one more out of this piece of Scotch tape, and yep, I could. Okay, that's good. Okay, now I'm going to pick this up, put this one over here, ready to bake, and these little ones need a little bit of help around the edge, so I'm going to do that. And then I'll put those over here to bake. Maybe I will go ahead and just make the white one too. And you can see what I've done. There we go. All right, move that out of the way over here. Bring that in a little bit further so you can see that. And this looks like it might be a smaller piece of white. We'll see how far I get with that. We'll see what happens. Okay, just going to put some of my tools out of my way here. Sorry for my reaching in front of the camera. I'm just going to push it together. I like this, I think I told you I like this clay. And I think I also told you I'm trying to find ways to use up my Cernit. Now those of you that use Cernit out there, let me know if your clay is always so very soft. And I'm sure there's a purpose for it. But I guess I've worked with Primo clay, Sculpey Primo clay for so many years that I'm so used to it because it's just it holds its shape so well. And I really, really like, it's my favorite for sure. But I love these colors too of the Pardo. All right, run it through on a 0. And again on a 0. And again on a 0. Then I'm going to run it through once on a 1, and one more time, run it through on the 0, bring it out. Now, I'm not sure, we'll see how this one works. All right, what you want to do when you put a little lightweight texture sheet is line up the bottoms so that when you put it into your machine, they go in together. Or close together anyway, very close. All right, running it through again. And there it is. That's the prettiest texture. It's so pretty. Oh, I see I have a little bit of peach there. And a little bit of something there too. And there. You may not even be able to pick that up on my camera, but I just use my phone to film. But let's see, I'm going to try this, and we shall see what we shall see. I like to make sure the front and the back have some texture on it, and I wanted that thickness to it. It just needed a little bit more thickness to make these, I thought. All right, now let's see. I guess I threw my other sheet of plastic away. Didn't mean to do that. All right, let's use this one. There we go. Okay. Looks like I'll get one out of this, I'm pretty sure. And then I'm still going to try for another one. I don't have to wad up the rest of the clay to do it. All right, let's do, yeah, that's the cutting edge. Okay. Looks pretty good. Our second oldest grandson graduates from high school this weekend. And we're excited for him because last year we went to his older brother's high school graduation. Oh, there goes another one. Let's pop that out. And we couldn't go in. Only the parents could go in. So, and everybody had to have masks on. So we sat outside the fence. It was done on the football field. Thankfully, it was a nice day. Let's pull this off. And they plan to do the very same kind of thing this year out on a football field. So honestly, it looks like rain the rest of the weekend through the weekend. So I'm hoping it doesn't. I hope they are able to do it on the football field. That was really a kind of a neat way to do it, I thought. Anyway, but we get to go. We get to go. We actually get to come on the other side of the fence and sit down on some bleachers. So that'll be nice. So there's one, another one. I'll bring those in when I'm done here. I'm going to try to make one more for you. Hopefully this isn't so boring, but I don't know. It just shows you how to do texture too. And you know, sometimes you just have to get creative with what you use for texture. You know, when I go to a craft store or anywhere, just anywhere, I am always looking for things to texture the clay with. I used burlap once, and it kind of left pieces of burlap in the clay, so I didn't like that. But you can use all kinds of different things. Okay, let me run this through on a 0. And again on the 0. And one more time on the 0. And let's see here. I'm going to bring this in and just try this right now. I'm hoping this works. Let's see, let's do it. Okay, I missed this area, so I'm going to come back in and do that too. Wow, this is going to be a close call, you guys. I don't want to use these jagged edges. So, we'll see. Yeah, I think I'll just try it, but I don't think that's going to work that way. No, it's not going to work, as you can see. So I'm going to put this back in. I'm going to pull the tape. I'm going to take the... I pulled it off because I can ruin this bead because I'm going to put it in with my other clay. I'm going to try one more time. See, you never give up. Never give up. And then this will be the top or bottom, and I'll make another piece to be the top or bottom. Running it through on a 0 again. And one more time. Now I'm going to bring in my texture sheet. Okay, I think we're good. Whatever way you can make your clay stretch sometimes to do what you need it to get done. Okay, I'm going to do it on that side because I can see these edges better. Sometimes I'll just come in and I'll cut this off so I make sure I don't press this down on a place that I shouldn't be pressing it down on, and then turn it over and kind of trim there and trim there because you don't want all that on there. So it still leaves me plenty of room, which is a good thing. And another piece of my plastic. Bring it in. And just make sure that you stretch it nice and tight. That was close, you guys. That was pretty close. But we got it. We got her done. Yeah, I think I need to do it a little bit more. Anyway, we'll go to Jakey's graduation on, I think it's Saturday. And then his open house. Do they have open houses for graduates in your area? That's just kind of the norm here. People have open houses at their homes for the graduates. But he's going to have his open house after he graduates. Okay. And it's kind of fun. Our son, his dad, Jake's dad, and Mom, they love country and Western music, and my son sings. He plays the guitar and sings. And no, he didn't take after me. He sure didn't. But he's got a really nice voice. And he's been in a band and that kind of a thing. And they just play some real low-key country music. Anyway, and so the theme is for Jake's graduation party. It's not necessarily a Western theme, but they are going to have a mechanical bull there. Do you believe it? You won't be seeing this grandma on that. No way. Okay, so that's good. And you can see the other side. Yep. So that's good. And I'm just going to pull this off of here, maybe, hopefully. But I think there's 5 families going together for all of their kids. But they're going to do all of this over our son and daughter-in-law's home. So I am just praying that they don't have, and I'll bake this little one, that they don't have rain. Oh, that would be a mess. And they couldn't have the mechanical bull either, but anyway, I don't think I've ever seen a mechanical bull at a graduation party. Oh dear. You know what? I can make one more. I'm going to make one more little... No, I don't need it. I don't need it. I'll just bring this in and show you what I've got now and what I'm going to be baking. So now I'm going to put this in the oven at... This clay I'm going to bake at 265. 265, they say 265. Let me look at the back for sure. For 30 minutes. Oh, no, it says 248. I know I've set it at 265. Oh, that was for the Cernit clay. So I've gotten them mixed up. But it didn't bother them. They baked really nicely. So I will bake this then at about 250 for 30 minutes. And once I'm done, then I will bring them back into my little shop here, and I will put paint on all of them. These the white ones have some blue paint, and then the blue and the peach have white paint. So that's what I will do, and then I wipe it off. But it will stay in the crevices, so it's just a little bit that you get to see. Well, you can see it much more with the blue, I think. Anyway, and then I will, when I'm done with that, I'll make the cut wherever I want to do it, and this is how I do it. I just take the very end, and once they're baked, and I just press it down, and it just makes a real nice slit very, very, very easily. Here it is again. I wanted to show you this one. And then when you put the necklace together, you can make sure that this hangs down, and you get the leather or the chain, or whatever it is that you're going to use up a little higher so that you can hide the little crack. Honestly, on the other ones, you can barely see that. So it really does a very, very nice job when you use this GS Hypo cement. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this, and there's so many colors. I wanted to do summer colors, just such fun, summery colors, and so I picked those colors from the Pardo Clay. So now I'm going to go put these in the oven at 250, and I will leave them for 30 minutes. Sometimes I even sneak in another 15 10 or 15 minutes on these. I put them in the oven on a cookie sheet. I just place this on the cookie sheet, and then I take an aluminum cake pan and I cover it so it has a tent over it so it won't burn or anything like that. And that's always been the way I've done it. And I don't know that I've ever burned anything this way. When I used a small oven, one of those kind of toaster-like ovens many years ago, I did burn things. I was learning. I was learning, and I did burn some things. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. And maybe you want to make your own and figure out some gifts for people. My brother came last night from Nebraska. He was just here for one night, and he took his significant other a couple of pieces of my jewelry because it's her birthday coming up, and I wanted to give her something, so I had him look at it and kind of pick it out. So I gave her 2 necklaces and some earrings, and so that's kind of fun. It's just so fun to have things on hand that you can give to people. All right, that's all for today. God bless you all, and I will see you soon, either for another clay video or another healing testimony. Bye-bye.